Hi everybody, I want to help you. That's been my long-term passion. I was talking with somebody yesterday and they were asking me, why do I do what I do? And I said this, I said, I love it. I want to help people do better in life, and I know that I can help them by being a coach and by being involved in their world and bringing the life that they're wanting to live into their world. So I thought I'd talk to you today as business owners about some 5 keys to get what you want. And I think it could really be helpful. There's simple phrases that I want to use for you to help you really think through how you might reorganize your own working space and how you might reorganize your world and what's going on around and about you, because we get faced with those challenges on a regular basis. And so I wonder how you wonder about what's going on in your world. And so I'd like to drop these for you today, let them sit there, but I would like, because it's interesting, we're about here in WA, where I live in Perth, Western Australia, about to enter into spring. And in spring, we've had a really wet and coldish winter, and people have been indoors. And in spring in Australia, people kind of get out. They want to clean their gardens, they want to clean their gutters, they want to spruce up the house, they want to do painting, they want to get out, do physical activity. So it's a really cool time to think about opportunities that stand in front of us and what could I do to take advantage of that in and around my world. And so this is about understanding there is a season in front of you that you can actually do something different with, and I want to help you have those principles. So here is what would be a place where I would start, and that is I'd like you to review, where are you right now? And what I do in this space, I often encourage my clients on a weekend where it's not as busy, the phone's not ringing, maybe you've got a bit of time where you can get out on the veranda or on the stoop or in the backyard under a tree with a coffee, but with a journal and a pen, and to stop and reflect for an hour and just say to the family, hey, just need an hour, I'm just going to go and do some reflecting time for where I'm going, where the business is going. I just need that little time, and then we'll be back, we'll be going out, we're going to go to a barbecue, we're going to go to the footy, whatever it might be. So to take stock of where you have been and where you are, and what is the dream in your heart of where you would like to go. And so when you do that, what I want you to do is write it down. And by writing it down, in a sense, you're verbalizing it through the tactile method of writing, telling the story back to yourself of what's going on, capturing those thoughts that are in your world that you think about in those in-between moments when you're in between a meeting or in between a conversation or in between a job or in between the workplace and home or in between appointments. These thoughts drop into your world and you think, it would be good if I caught that, thought about that some more, and made some understanding about where I might be this time next year by simply stopping for a season to reflect, review, and think through what has been going on in and around my world. So here's some questions to think about. What went well for me in this last season? What accomplishments did I have? How did I improve my life? How did I improve my relationships? What did I remove from my life? What do I wish I'd taken more time for? I love in my season right now that I'm an empty nester and I get to spend a lot more time with my wife. And so we have longer dinners, longer conversations, and I am so glad that I am taking more time in that space. Our relationship is growing and blossoming and flourishing. And I know in the past, in seasons, I haven't given as much time. So I'm wanting more of that. It's really, really cool. And so when you track those questions, when you're thinking where you have been, where you are, and where you want to go, it will really give you some content to actually work with and something that will give you a real direction. And here is something that will be really cool. Some light bulb moments will actually take place for you. And these are questions, and you probably will think of some of your own questions that will actually help you in that space. Now, here's a challenge. Once you've done that, I want you to think through this thought. What do I need to finish? I find sometimes I talk to some of my clients and they're saying, I'm reading 4 books all at the same time, or I'm in the middle of a painting project, or my bathroom renovation is underway. And oftentimes I find that people don't finish projects that they start, and they get left lying around. It's a book that's unread, it's a wall that's not read, it's a door jamb that's not working. It's like for me, I've got one key to my front door, and so I need to get a new tumbler, put that in. So that's one of those things that I need to finish in my world. So there's projects, there is dynamics going around about us, and I just would encourage you, write a list of what they are, and don't get overwhelmed by it, but just have a look at, and it certainly will challenge you about what it is that you have not yet finished. And it will be really good for you to do that. And here is the interesting thing. The projects that we think we've got to finish, that they're going to take days and weeks and months to do, oftentimes we'll be able to knock off the list that we've written, many of those projects in a very short period of time, and you'll realize, I could have got to this and accomplished this a lot sooner, and why didn't I? And those things happen because we procrastinate. We put off, we get distracted, we think we're busy. And I love some new language that I'm encouraging people to deal with, this language of I'm busy. I want you to become a big person, able to cope with the very real and powerful dynamics around. And what will happen is this. Many of us are married and we have families, and it will inspire them. Hey, Dad's taken up the cause and he's done that. Hey, that's so cool. And he's given time to get that basketball hoop up on the wall so I can play outside. And people around you will value the fact that you've got up, got going, got moving, and you're actually making a difference for those around and about you. Now, here's often what happens when we do things like this, when we review and get lists of jobs that we need to finish, and we're thinking about where we might be going into the future. I want you to understand this. Be realistic. Here's what happens when we're not realistic. We set unrealistic expectations, we deliver here, and we bring disappointment into our world. And so when we are realistic about what is lying in front of us, what happens is we set the bar a lot more achievable, and often we will overachieve what we've actually set for us to do. And that's something that happens over and over again when we are more realistic about the time it will take, about the involvement that's going to be involved with, about the accomplishments we want to set, about the improvements we're going to bring into our life, and those things. So I've just done something in my own world, and that is I really enjoy swimming. I haven't swum for probably a couple of years, and so I get down to the pool twice a week now. And I swam for 500 meters. Now, here's something I know I can't do yet. I'm being realistic. So I did 200, a 100, a 100, and a 100. But I didn't do them all in sync, one after the other. I swam them, had a break, swam, had a break, swam, had a break. Because I know right now my fitness level, I'm being realistic about my fitness level. I know I would like to do that. I know I've done that in the past, but I know where I am right now. I know I can jump in the pool and swim. I have a good stroke. I enjoy it. And away I go. But I've got to build my ability, my stamina, my internal fortitude, my skill level, my ability. So last week I only swam in 100-meter sessions. So I've actually upped a little bit, and I did a 200 and then 3 100s. And I'm doing that, I'm being realistic about that, and I know that that will change my physique, it will change my physiology, it will change my fitness, and it'll be just jolly good for me and those around and about me. And so when we do that and we set realistic objectives and we actually do them, I tell you what, it feels absolutely fantastic and really, really important. So what I want you to do is break that dream down into realistic portions that you can actually attempt to work on. We're going to be back in just a short while to finish these 5 principles off for you and to help you do business better.